Hello, hello. I am super excited to talk to you guys today. I'm always excited to talk to you guys. So if you guys watch these, I start them every single time with I'm so excited to talk about this. But it's true. It's because all week I get to start preparing what I want to say and what I want to share. And this one is really, really poignant because I have so many clients that come to me and they have achieved some modicum of success and some amount of success, and then what ends up happening is they get back into their comfort zone. So this coasting is really this comfort zone of, you may have gotten yourself to this certain place in your business, but then all of a sudden maybe you're comfortable, maybe you know how to do what you're doing at the level that you're doing it at, but the truth is that even if you're coasting or even if you're in this place, you know that there's more. And sometimes, as I talk about, you have something coming through you that you're wanting to share in the world that wants to come through. And what happens is then you're in this comfort zone and this thing wants to come through, and they can almost start kind of feeling like opposing forces. But wait a second, I'm comfortable and I don't really need more. And it's yeah, but there's this thing over here. And that resistance that comes up in between is the big one. And I posted about this on my Instagram stories actually last night, which is that, ultimately one of the things that we tend to do is that we, for example, if you have something that you've been wanting to get around to, you have a new project idea, something you've been wanting to create or launch, or even just do, it could be as simple as you're wanting to work out more. But this thing that you've been wanting to do more of and that you've wanted to, launch or create is kind of operating always in your field, right? It's this is why I say it's coming through you, is because it's truly wants to be birthed through you. It wants to, there's some part of your energetic body that's really, really wanting to bring it through, or it's something on your mind. It's I need to get this done. I need to get this done. But what happens is we kind of stay in this cycle where we think about it or we don't get around to it. And so this thing that we've been meaning to do, it's really, kind of just stays in the background. So one of the things we tend to do is that we then find ourselves asking, why am I not doing that? What's the matter with me? And this is where the inner critic can come in of really starting to oh God, what's the matter with me? And why haven't I done that? And this is a super, super important voice to hear when this starts happening, because if you are noticing yourself, asking yourself why, this is something that I say to my clients all the time, is watch out for what questions you're asking yourself. Because this is a really great example of, if you're asking yourself God, why am I not doing that? Your inner critic will be I can tell you why. And it just rises to the occasion to come through and say, it's probably because you're not cut out for this, or you're so lazy, or what's the matter with you? Or, it's the moon, the moon is just really thrown me off, or, whatever that is, not underestimating the power of the moon, because I feel it too. This new moon has been a really big one, but just really noticing where that inner critic might be given the opportunity to just throw you excuses or make you feel like you're actually not cut out for it, or that you're not capable. And here's the truth. This is actually, this is the work that I really work in specifically, is this feeling, this resistance that comes up. So if you are coasting, if you're finding yourself just in your comfort zone, if you know that you've been wanting to do this thing, but you haven't done it yet, then the pieces that I like to surface in the work that I do with my clients, the pieces that I work with, are really about looking at what are these underlying fears. So when we're able to do the deep and transformational work together, we are able to surface some of those, and they're very, very powerful. But most of the time in that scenario, what you need to do is really just start. But sometimes we can't start if we don't know, if we're not clear on what we even should be starting on, right? Hi, Shashi. Hi, Hugh. And so really getting some clarity around, where should you be starting? Where should you be going? And oftentimes we coast because we're unclear. We're coasting because it feels either too scary to really go for it, or the next step isn't clear. And what happens when we're not clear is we go into overwhelm, we go into fear, confusion, whatever ways those kind of manifest for you in your individual space, like anxiety is another really, really big one. We also are masters of distraction, right? So if you are having this time where you're kind of coasting, you're kind of sitting back, there's some underlying undercurrents of coasting. One is a big one, which is around this fear of it not working out. So I actually even preceded before that is this fear that it's going to take so much. So if you look at the gap, right, from like where you are and where you want to go, and you're kind of just coasting over here. This is the comfort zone. You know this place, but you know that if you put a little work into it, you could get over here and you could really rock this and you could really have the successful business, right? But it's that gap between here and here that we have all these different very convincing stories about that keep us coasting and keep us in the comfort zone. So one of the big ones is that this is going to take so much work. It's going to be so hard and it's going to take so much work. And that is like some really good fodder for your inner critic and all of the ways that you justify and all the excuses and all the distraction and all the derailment that you do over here to just be like, yeah, that just seems like it's going to be too hard. I'm just going to stay right here in this comfort zone and I'm just going to do what I know how to do. This is just fine. Like I can survive on this. It's no problem. I can just stay here, right? Versus really going for it. And there's also there's another one, which is not only about like the hard work, because what I know about you all is that you're not afraid of hard work and that you're totally capable of it. But that there's this underlying fear even below that, which is that after all that hard work, you might not actually get there. And that truth is one that I really love surfacing, because then it's not operating subliminally. Because the truth is, and I have a whole thing coming out about this soon, so keep your eyes out for it, that when it comes to this gap of where you are right now and where you want to be, it is closer than you think. But so often you stay in that coasting, you stay in that comfort zone, you stay in what you know. This is why it is so incredibly powerful to have a coach, have a support system. There's nothing like it. In fact, I actually was thinking as I was coming on here, like I want to be able to give you actionable steps. And I will tell you that without, this is where accountability comes in, right? Because left to our own devices, in our own, like we'll eat ramen every day and night, right? Like we don't even take care of ourselves in the best way we know how. But once there's someone else in the picture who we love and we care about, or even that it's a meeting that we have to show up to, it's what helps us put our clothes on in the morning, right? It's like, this is if you're in a service-oriented business, this is why you love it, because you actually get to help people and you get to serve people, and it gives you that purpose in your life. So what you can do with the support of a coach with some accountability is that's what we do, is we clarify your purpose. We clarify these steps so that you know exactly where you're going and what you need to do, right? And so that you don't continue to fall asleep. Because we're creatures of habit. We are creatures that we just want to be in our comfort zone, right? So to just know that it is possible, so incredibly possible, and that was my big message on Instagram stories too, which maybe I'll post some of these screenshots for you guys so you can see them, is that ultimately you are, and this is just the big message that I have for you, is that all of these patterns of apathy or not believing that it's possible or scared that it's not going to work out, and all the things that keep you in this safe place, in this comfort zone, they're not true. They're excuses. They're your inner critic trying to keep you safe. They're, all these things. And instead, what I know is true, and coming back into the ultimate, absolute, positively, I know this truth, is you are more capable than you know. You are so capable. You are so capable of closing this gap to get from here to here. so freaking capable, and you are so worth it, and you so deserve it, and it's absolutely possible. It is absolutely possible. People are doing it all around the world, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It just means that you could use some support, some accountability, some new ways of showing up, some new ways of helping clear away what's happening right now in your mindset and your patterns and your behaviors, and so to be able to see the forest from the trees, right? Because we'll just stay in our own loops if we don't have something, a safe space in particular. I'm a really big fan of safe space, as you know, and so I create these safe spaces for you to feel safe and feel held so that you can do this work, so that you can peel off these layers, so that you can get where you want to go. So you can have that clarity, you can have that accountability, and there's going to be resistance that shows up the entire time, I can guarantee you. But knowing that you can keep showing up to it with someone, knowing that you're not going to continue to lose days and weeks and months, but that you are actually going to get there. And then also even having that reflection of being able to see the progress that you're making. That's a huge part of it. And that's what I love doing with my clients, is all the time I see them still doing this thing where they think that they haven't gotten anywhere. And I'm like, no. Have you seen all that you have done and all that you've created and how far you've come? Because sometimes this work is intangible. Like, yes, they're birthing these big, beautiful ideas into the world, but what happens is that we constantly are kind of like that new level, new devil, right? So we get to the next place and where there's still so much work to be done, but we forget to see how far we've come. And so it's really, really important to be able to have that reflection and that insight, and also to be, there's an element of like measuring it as well, being able to really measure that progress and see what is this going to look like. And that's actually something that we even create in the Clarifying Your Vision plan of like, what does this look like when it's going the way you want, so that you can spot it. So this is all coming out in this program. I've been working so much on it, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. And so it sounds like it's really resonating, and thank you for the likes and the hearts. And ultimately, the big mindset shift that I want you to have here, if you have 2 takeaways, are number 1, you are more capable than you think. So all of this comfort zone, all of this apathy, all of the fear, all of the excuses, all of the masterful distractions and ways that you're derailing yourself are all for this underlying coddling of this part of you that doesn't think that you are capable or that it's possible, and it's just not true. So to really shift your mindset and just I want you to hold this, which is, it's closer than you think. It's closer than you think. It's so possible. It's so possible. And if you need support, really outlining those steps to get from here to there, I would love to support you on that. The other big takeaway that I want you to have here is you are so capable, and then also recognizing that, what was the other piece I wanted to tell you? Shoot, I lost it. I'm sure I'll think of it. But I'm so happy that you're here. This is so great. I've really, really enjoyed talking about this topic. If you have any questions for me, any insights that have come up for you in your own personal process in this, please leave these comments for me here. Also, there's a Facebook group, which if you guys are not part of the Facebook group, we are heating up in there and things have gotten really fun. And I actually need to go in there and announce a winner. I had a busy day yesterday, but there's a winner of a contest that I put in there. And so go check out the Badass Activators and Conscious Creators group that I'm growing on Facebook. Not everyone sees this on the page, so I'm really excited about growing this group and being able to serve you all more there. So ask questions and let me know what this sparked for you. And here is to you getting out of the coasting comfort zone and really going after what you truly, truly, truly want for your life and business, because it is closer than you think. You are more capable than you think, and it is completely possible, and you are awesome. So go for it. Be a badass activator, conscious creator in your life, and make it happen. Hope you're having a wonderful day or evening wherever you are, and I'm sending you lots of love. Mwah.